Hey everyone, welcome to Steph and Key TV. Please like, comment, and subscribe. That will really help our channel. And please let me know what you thought of today's video. All right, Atlanta, let's get into it. So we start with Kenya. She's in a white dress. It's very Basic Instinct. And she's playing the Sharon Stone character. They're asking her questions about what happened the wild night that we're about to see. And they ask her about Freako. She said there's a whole bunch of Freakos that were going on last night. And we're about to get into the thick of it. And I just thought it was like funny. It was a nice little switch up to have them doing this style of interview as opposed to like the regular confessionals. So I liked it. And they got to like really play these characters, which was fun. But I'm ready to get into it. So then it switches over to one day earlier, and I really thought they were about to play Juicy J. It's not These Hoes. I think the song is called Everybody, but it's like the lyrics are These Hoes. I thought they were about to play it. And just the way they keep throwing around hoe at the beginning of this episode, I really thought they were about to play that song, but let's get into it. So the ladies get home for dinner. They zip upstairs to change into their PJs because Cynthia still doesn't know what's going on. All the ladies change into their outfits, costumes, and I'm like, everyone looks good. Like, Lord. Atlanta, like everyone looks good. Cynthia's on the phone with Mike, clueless. Kandi came in with the shade, talking about Cynthia doesn't know, she's clueless, and that's nothing new. I was like, all right, Kandi, with the shade. But the rest of the ladies are dressed. They're downstairs now. They got so excited to get in their outfits that Portia lost some eyelashes. She had to get those. And now they're just waiting for Cynthia to come downstairs. I really feel like they should have just left her costume for her and been like, surprise, change into this, and we'll tell you when you get downstairs. Because I'm ready to get to it, and I feel like Bolo's been in that box for what, like 30 minutes now? Is he still alive? Like, we need to get going. But Kandi lets the ladies know that once Cynthia comes down, Kandi's gonna be the mistress of the evening and really give them a taste of the dungeon. And I'm scared. So Cynthia comes downstairs. She's shocked, to say the least. Kandi has her sit down. The rest of the ladies come out and they surprise her. She's freaked out. Kandi asks what's her alter ego name again. She can't remember because she's in such shock. Tanya does the whip and she's scared. I would be Cynthia in this situation. I would be scared. This is a lot. It's like overwhelming. Everybody's like twerking and Kenya's like on her back doing some leg moves. Whew, it was like a lot. Cynthia didn't know where to look, what questions to answer. She was overwhelmed and I was overwhelmed as well. Like, this is a lot. It looked like Drew. I couldn't tell if she had runs in her pantyhose, but that's okay. But Drew does throw some shade towards Kenya's way. Like in her confessional, she said maybe if she was doing that, then her husband would still be around. And Drew, once again, you are not in any position to be giving marriage advice with that crazy husband of yours, Ralph. Don't. Just don't. Let's not talk about marriages until you get yours all together. All the way together, Drew. Shh. No more from you. So Kandi informs Cynthia that she's acting too auntie-ish. I'm scared. I'm scared of Kandi. Like Cynthia said, I would be doing anything she said because I'm scared. Like, her as this mistress is scary. So Cynthia, they tell her to run upstairs and change into her costume. They send Marlo after her. Oh, like, and before that, like, everybody does their alter ego names and does a little dance. There's like so many cheeks flapping. Shamia does a split. Like, Lord. Tanya's was a little hers was a little auntie-ish. She needs to work on her like sexy game. But Marlo's helping Cynthia get her costume ready. The rest of the ladies are getting drinks. Like, even like Kenya is like letting loose and relaxing. I feel like if they had just cut this trip like couple of days shorter and just focused on the surprise bachelorette party, I feel like they would have had no fights. It would have just been a good time. So, note to you ladies for next time. just fun. No more like basic trips. It needs to be like wild, wet and wild. So then Candy gives Shamea a vibrator to take up to Cynthia to put in her panties so they can use the little remote anytime they want. Lord, y'all, this is a lot. This is a lot. When Cynthia comes back down, she comes down like an old lady coming down the stairs. Candy does the buzzer and she's like, ah! And she yanks it out. Oh my gosh. So then Candy takes the ladies outside to see Bolo in the box and he starts dancing. Y'all, the imprint on his pants. I have no words. So they check out Bolo, they're drooling. I think Drew is entranced. They help him out of the box. Now we gotta go back upstairs in these heels. All right, let's go. All right, so Bolo is finally ready. The ladies have face shields on. Bolo has a face shield on. He's ready to go. Candy gives him their money. He starts doing his little dance. Cynthia brings out $4 to give him. She said she made it drizzle because she's the money conscious one. Kenya throws shade in her confessional, says, like, I know there's some $3 hoes in this place, but, like, not him. So you need to give up some more money. It's a mess. It's a mess. And then Marlo brings up the fact that, like, these women are, like, hungry for some of this male attention because she says that Kenya's going through a divorce. Latoya doesn't know what she wants to do with her husband. And Portia's in the middle of a breakup. So these ladies are ready. I am living for all of Portia's facial reactions. I can't do it as well. You have to watch the episode because her face the whole time. And then Kenya goes up to put money in his pants. Shamea's like in her confessional, like when Kenya went up to put that money in his pants, all I could think about was that money could have been spent on the food that we didn't get to eat these past few days. Which is true, but like a mess. Stop being shady, Shamea. I've never watched an episode of Real Housewives before like this. Like my life. I'm just like, oh my gosh. Whew. So the ladies having a good time. Then the dance ends. I was like, wait, that's it? So Bolo goes into the back, I guess his changing room, bathroom, whatever. Candy shows, asks the ladies to come over. She has a sex swing for Cynthia. She puts Cynthia in the sex swing. Kenya is laid out, dancing, twerking. She has really like let go. This is what I feel like Kenya shouldn't have hosted. She should not have hosted the trip. She should have let either Candy or Portia, somebody else, host the trip, and she should have really taken a back seat because you could just feel like her relax and just like let loose. And I feel like she needed that this trip instead of trying to be the host and run everything when she's like having a hard time falling apart. Because like we have not seen this from Kenya like all season. Even when she was like flirting with Toya at the beginning of the season, it was not like this. She just seems very relaxed and enjoying the male attention. But I feel like yeah, the ladies are just having a much better time now. So then Kenya starts demanding that Bolo come back with her whip. Portia goes to get him. She's like, hey, the ladies, you know, just want to continue the party. So he's like, all right, is like as long as the cameras are gonna be gone. And she says, cool. So then they go back. The ladies go back into the living room. Bolo's coming back. They put their mask on. They ask the camera dudes to bounce. So they demic everyone, they bounce, but there's still like a few cameras set up, so the ladies do their best to like cover them so they can just let loose and have like a real bachelorette party. I mean, because it does seem like, what y'all about to do? But I'm like, if you've had a bachelorette party, I have not, but if you had one or you've been to one, then you know like you're not, there's not usually cameras there to see you have a good time. So I can definitely understand where these ladies are coming from. So, but there's still like, you know, a couple of cameras that they didn't catch. So like we can see one looking through the blinds from the outside. And then there's like another one, like kind of covering the couch. So there's still some coverage that we're seeing, and we can definitely still hear them, even though they've been demiked. So we'll see. So it's the next day. We see Kandi trying to fix one of the cameras. She's too short. So we know that she didn't turn any of those cameras around. She can't get it. But then Kenya is giving us the tea about what happened the night before. So she said when her nanny came to bring Brooklyn, Kenya heard sexy noises, so she came back down. Cynthia was still downstairs getting a special dance from Bolo. Cynthia confirms that his thing is real. And then Kenya says that Portia and Latoya were making out. We do see that because the camera that's over the couch, we see them making out. Y'all. And then Portia's like, I remember kissing a couple of people. We don't know how many she kissed. She says a couple, but she was drunk, so it could have been a lot more. So Kenya says she keeps coming up and down the stairs to see what's going on. Drew, I guess, got a lap dance. She said she was face down on the coffee table. All right. Portia keeps trying to get Tanya to have a lap dance with Bolo. It's just a mess. Like, a lot's going on. Kandi says the women were, like, just all over the place. Candy's not really giving much details, but she's saying, like, the ladies had a good time. Kenya says 6 o'clock in the morning, she hears sexy noises. She feels like somebody was getting it on with Bolo in the hallway between Kandi and Portia's room. Yeah, because there's an open room in between their rooms as well. And then at 7 a.m., we see the stripper, Bolo, leave. So he was there all night and pretty much all morning. So, yeah, this is like a mess. So Cynthia and Drew are recapping last night, and they feel like, you know, they're going to tell Cynthia's going to tell Mike, and Drew's going to tell her husband. She says Drew feels like Ralph is going to be excited for all the new moves she learned. I feel like that controlling husband of yours is not going to be excited that your hands were all up on some stripper. That's just me. Maybe he's changed. I don't think so. But they talk about, like, you know, the craziness that went on. They're being very secretive as to what they were doing. I don't think Cynthia did anything. I just don't. Drew seems a little suspect. So then the rest of the ladies come downstairs. Some of the ladies are staying back because they need to recoup after that wild night. And some of the other ladies are going on a fishing trip, which is something I would not, I mean, I don't fish because I'm vegan, but I wouldn't want to be fishing after a bachelorette party and strippers and stuff. I would want to be staying back and resting, but that's what the other ladies are going to do. Kenya comes down and starts stirring up some mess, talking about, I heard wild noises last night. I heard maybe one of y'all were in someone's bed last night. Everybody's like, what? They're like, go on and get Kenya, get out of here. Drew looks very suspicious because they're talking about, like, we don't want nobody breaking any confidentiality. What happens in the dungeon should stay in the dungeon. And Drew looks like she's very worried about something coming out of the dungeon. For me, this is just me personally, I feel like whatever they did for the bachelorette party should be left there. I mean, they were having a good time. They turn off the cameras for a reason. This is supposed to be like their personal time. But as a viewer, I want Kenya to keep digging and I want to know what happened. I mean, I just do. This is why we're watching the show. We want to know what happened. So I see both sides. I want them to have their privacy, but they're on a reality show, so I kind of want to know what happened. So, I don't know. Cynthia has me cracking up. Her and Kenya are by the pool, recapping what happened last night. Cynthia said, I stayed for a good 20 minutes just staring at people and watching what was going on. She said, I enjoyed the girl-on-girl action, watching it a little too long. So, Cynthia's cracking me up. I feel like she's very much is a voyeur. She very much likes to watch and is scared to participate. That would probably be me. I would be scared to participate. Just watching. But she was having a good time, and now Kenya's about to drop her messy tea. But we're here for it, right? I mean, this is why we're watching, right? So the girls on the way to the fishing trip, they were talking about how they felt like Kenya was going to be like boring just because how she's been during the trip earlier. But they said they were surprised that she really let loose and had a good time. Meanwhile, Kenya's like, I saw Portia doing nasty stuff with Toya. I saw Drew doing nasty stuff with Bella. Toya comes down to meet Kenya and Cynthia at the pool. They were like, "Oh, don't be kissing me with those lips because we don't know where they've been." And Toya's like, "I didn't kiss nobody, girl. Roll the tape. We got the evidence. You were kissing up on everybody." So she's trying to act like she didn't do nothing. Kenya's like, "I'm about to play detective. This is my courtroom. I'm going to treat you as a hostile witness." And she's about to go in on poor little Toya. So Kenya didn't get any info out of Toya really because Toya was on her Instagram live, I guess, at 6 a.m. So she didn't do nothing. So then the other ladies are trying to figure out who went to sleep first. Marlo left. Then it was Cynthia and Kenya. So the rest of the ladies were up. But we still don't know who was up with Bolo before he left at 7. They get to the fishing boat, and then Marlo's like, "Okay, so what boat are we gonna be on? This is the boat." She's like, "No, but really, what boat are we gonna be on?" He's like, "This is the boat. It's a fishing boat." Who agreed? Like, who signed them up for the fishing boat thing? I mean, I feel like this is not something they would ever want to do, but. So then Shamia and Tanya come down to the pool, and Kenya's still trying to interrogate everybody. Tanya and Shamia are not having it, so it gets shut down. The other ladies are on the fishing trip. Marlo, once again, is trying to ask Candy, like, how she can fix her relationship with Kenya. Candy's trying to give her some advice, and then hopefully, like, Lord, Marlo, either like try to work it out and not throw shade when you apologize, or just let it go. Because I'm tired of this. Nobody really cares anymore. Fix it or move on. So then the ladies from the fishing trip, they get back. The other ladies are still at the pool. They say hi. Shamia's like, save us. And Portia's like, why? And they're like, we're in court right now. And Kenya's like, Bolo court. And then Candy's like, hold up. Did y'all get us something to eat or not? So that cut that short. Candy's like, I'm not having this again. Feed me, and then we can talk, or else I'm done. So they were like, all right, it's about to go left. Let's feed Candy. Please feed her. Like, I understand all of the hangry-ish that's been going on with these ladies. Like, just feed me and we'll be good. So I feel like they need to feed Candy and probably feed the rest of the ladies too, because I'm sure they're hungry. So Drew is talking to that husband of hers, and he's complaining about moving in such a short time and it's raining and stuff. And I'm like, well, maybe if you had waited for your wife and not did a surprise move, you could have had some more help. But sorry for you. So Toya's attempting to make dinner. She don't know how to cook, so I don't know why she's trying to. And Candy's like, the last thing we need is food poisoning. Marlo helps her. Lord. Kenya comes down and she's like, how much sleep did you get last night? To Candy. And Candy's like, not much because I still jumped up early, which is me. I am that person. I feel like, and it's so annoying. Like, even like no matter how late I go to sleep, I still wake up early. Oh, it's so frustrating. So I can relate to that. And so Candy said like not much because I still woke up early. And Kenya's like, why, did you hear something? And Candy's like, ah. She's like, you ain't about to catch me slipping. So Candy throws it back on Kenya, and she's like, what did you hear? Kenya's like, I heard moaning and groaning, and I heard somebody doing stuff. And Candy's like, let these girls just have their fun, and dead it. And it just goes back to like, let them have their fun, but also as viewers, Kenya, keep digging, because we want to know. Ugh, it's so messy. It's so messy. Tell me y'all, what do you think? Do you think this should just be dropped, or do you think we should know what happened? So Candy almost slips up in her confessional and talks about, hey, I went to bed before any of this threesome. And she's like, wait. Before any of this alleged threesome thing happened. So I'm like, girl, you heard something. We know you did. So now Cynthia and Marlo are talking on the phone. Cynthia tells Marlo to come up and help her pick out something, but she really wants her to come up because she wants to dead this thing between Marlo and Kenya. So she takes Marlo over to Kenya's room, and Marlo's like, wait, right now? And she's like, yes, let's get this over with. So Marlo goes into Kenya's room, and Kenya's just like, oh God, here we go. So then Marlo starts talking about trying to work this out. Like, we used to have a friendship. Where do we go wrong? And Kenya's like, well, we went wrong because you keep attacking me. And she's like, and we attack each other, but you went very low with the mother comment. How Marlo said, like, you're such a terrible person. Even your own mother doesn't want to have anything to do with you, which was very, very low blow. Like, low blow. Like, that's something, like, if Kenya never forgave her, I wouldn't feel bad about it, because that's a really, really low blow, because we know Kenya's had a tumultuous relationship and pretty much non-existent relationship with her mother, so that hurt to the core, especially since Marlo used to be her friend. But Kenya, like, lets her walls down, and she's like, all right, let's just try to move forward. You know, I won't hurt you if you don't hurt me, and let's just try to move forward. We don't have to be best friends, but, like, let's start from a place of being cordial to each other, not being unkind to each other, and see if we can move from there. So then they, like, you know, make up. Cynthia's happy. The girls are smiling and laughing. And Marlo's like, okay, so I'm so happy now because maybe I can hold. So Marlo's like, I'm so happy now. Can I hold Brooklyn? And Kenya's like, wait, back up. We ain't there yet. So we still got to work on some things between us before you can come anywhere near my baby. And I don't blame her. But I'm glad they are able to move on. I'm glad they both apologized. I'm really glad Marlo apologized for those comments because they were super nasty. And I hope they can just be cordial, if anything else. So Shamea and Tanya come into Portia's room. Shamea lets Portia and Tanya know that Kenya's speculating that Tanya and Portia got it on the stripper. Portia's annoyed and frustrated. Tanya's very upset. She's like, you ain't gonna put that on me. Meanwhile, Kenya and Marlo, now that they've made up, Kenya decides to tell Marlo what she heard last night. Marlo's like, I heard the same thing, but a little bit earlier than you. So they're like, something happened. Other ladies are like, she's trying to speculate that we did something and I don't want my name in it. So the ladies are sitting down to eat. Portia in her room talked about not letting Kenya see her sweat and not being angry about this, but you could tell she's visibly upset. And Kenya and Marlo come downstairs. Everybody else is happy that they're friends again. Portia's suspect because she's like, oh, now that Kenya's alienated herself from everyone, of course she gets a new ally. She's pissed. They've even convinced Toya to be like, this is your friend. How do you feel like her trying to investigate and see what we did last night? And even Toya's like, I don't really like this side of Kenya, so I don't know. And so they all sit down. Everybody's like happy. They're getting ready to eat. And Portia's like, try to get Portia to pray over the food. And she's like, I ain't in a praying mood. And that's how it is. So we know that dinner is going to be turned. And hopefully they get to eat at least some of the food. But you just never know with these ladies. So that wraps it up for this episode. Whew, this was a crazy episode. It was a longer episode too. Please let me know what you thought of the episode in the comments below. Give this video a like if you enjoyed it. And make sure you hit that notification bell so you're in the know when I release a new video. And subscribe. I'd love to have you a part of Stephanie Key TV. I'll see you in the next video and stay safe, everyone. Bye.